Russ and Z Show.
What's up? What's up?
Hey!
This is Russ and Z
Yes,
coming to you with another episode of Tall Truths and Short Tales.
Yes.
From the basement.
Crazy, you guys. Good morning. I'm so excited. I think I'm a morning person.
Yeah.
I do way better in the morning. The later in the day it gets, I get grumpy. I get hungry.
Like
oh my goodness.
Oscar the Grouch.
Y'all, it's funny. Trying to do a podcast before we start, we're here me.
Trying to clear out all the phlegm and hey, this is behind the scenes of a podcast.
Right. It is
We're
funny.
Just trying to make sure everything goes right.
And you know what helps with clearing out the phlegm? Coffee, y'all.
Coffee.
That's why I'm like coffee in the morning. Coffee in the morning. I'm a drip queen. You know what I'm saying?
Gotta have that coffee.
Yes.
Definitely. Man, so on the last episode,
right,
we talked about basic training.
Yeah.
No matter what branch you're in. We talked about basic training. We put some videos out there on our blog. You definitely check that out on our website.
I hope you didn't scare nobody.
Man, I don't think I did. I think I just gave them a reality check into what people go through that goes in the military.
Listen to me. Anybody who saw those videos and was like, I don't know, I'm not sure. Mm-hmm. People have come before you.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid. Don't be discouraged. We put those out there just so you can have more information.
Definitely. Hey, listen. I know some of the people that I've seen in the Air Force.
Oh my.
And if they can make it through basic training,
you can do it. You hear me?
You can do it.
Don't believe in yourself.
You can do it. I'm telling you.
It is not.
It's not something, it's all about, like we said before.
Right.
Breaking you down to build you up.
There you go.
Making you a team, trying to strip away all of that, whatever you brought in.
Biasms.
That's what it's about.
Right.
But then after basic, there's tech school that we went into.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it's more learning. It's more like, put a little more on that. I don't know if you touched, it's like college.
It is. It's like college for your craft, for whatever job you're going to be doing. That's when you learn the basics of your job. It's basically just learning from scratch, learning the bare minimums in order to be able to understand your job.
There's some that are like a couple weeks.
Yeah,
there's some that are like a year.
A month. There's some that are, long.
Yeah,
and the ones that are long, you actually, if you have any dependents and stuff, they can actually move down there with you, depending on how long it is.
That's cool. So yeah, then you get college credit with the tech school, right? You get some type of.
Yeah. So once you graduate from tech school, yes. That certificate that you get and the class that you took actually counts towards college credits towards your associate's degree.
Sweet.
In your career field.
Right. So you did not waste your time.
No.
So that means when you're going into tech school and they're hitting y'all with these classes, you're already getting college credit.
Already.
You already have your foot in the door. Just stay there.
So yeah, if you decide to get out after 3 or 4 years and you haven't really taken any classes, and we'll talk about education a little bit further down in the episodes, but you just wasted all those credit hours that you just had. You could use those things, definitely.
That's like leaving money on the table, y'all. Don't leave no money on the table. What's wrong with y'all?
If you can get 25 in that diamond hole, slapping that domino down,
man.
don't pass that money up. I'm just saying.
You got a high joker. You better not. Anyway, you guys.
But so once you're there though, you want to get your orders. You're going to get orders to your next duty location. And that's basically where you're going to be for 3 or more years. 2, 1, depending on whether they send you to a remote location for your first duty location. We've heard that happen before.
Oh, yeah.
Which is rare. And that is kind of hard. Listen, if you have to go and do a 1-year remote fresh out of tech school.
Especially if you're a baby face.
Yeah,
if you've never been away. That's tough. That's a tough move, y'all.
And what you want to do is definitely keep in touch with your family.
Yes.
Especially if you're a young military cat who's joining the military and your first duty assignment is overseas at a remote location.
Right.
Keep in touch with your family.
Some of these places, we're going to get off subject just a little bit, but some of these places don't have a lot of sunlight. And people don't realize when you are deprived of sun, depression sits in. Mm-hmm. We get vitamin D from the sun, you guys. So if you're in Germany or you're in, some hole in
Cold hole.
Iceland, you're not getting a lot of sun and you start
Alaska.
feeling a little crabby, that's because you're not getting enough of what you need. So just be careful with that. Stay in touch with your family, and then we are moving on. But when you actually have to move,
Man.
that's when the fun moves in, y'all.
Yeah.
When you
We had five. We had 5 moves, and that's counting our first one where we actually had to leave from our hometown and go to our first duty location.
Right.
To where we had ended up at our last spot. But man, you have to make sure when you get these orders, and it tells you the location that you're going to.
Yes, listen, y'all, what he's about to say.
You have to research the area
Please.
that you're going to. I remember we got orders to, I forgot where it was, but we went and researched the area, and we saw that the number one attraction in that area
Was a cemetery.
of slaves. A slave museum. It was a cemetery for slaves.
Now
And
listen.
that was the main attraction in the area.
Okay, now listen, you guys. Us coming from California, and we had bopped around, but when we saw the main attraction was a slave cemetery, I heard tumbleweeds. I heard dialect that I've never, and I started being afraid, y'all.
No.
I'm like, no.
So you research the area, find out where you're going, see what if you got kids, see what's going on in the area, see if they have any amusement parks for the kids, any whatever attractions around there,
And he's talking from the active duty prospect. I'm gonna tell you from the spouse. You need to check out the schools, okay? You need to check out the neighborhoods. Anytime he got orders, when Russ got orders, I did a deep dive. I wanted to know what the crime population was. I wanted to know the sex offender registers around. Y'all think I'm crazy, but I had 3 daughters that were small at the time. Listen, my children go to the bathroom on the buddy system, even now. You hear me? Because I don't play. But you really have to look, because here's why. Here's why. If you don't set them up correctly, when you go to the next base, your children won't thrive as well.
Right.
So you have to make sure that the continuity of their education, the continuity of the way of life that they're accustomed to isn't really hindered, because you have to remember, a lot of things are changing for them.
Yes.
So you have to try to keep certain things constant as much as you can.
Keep them in the loop. And with school, depending on what state you go to, those states may have different testing requirements.
Yes.
I remember when we left California and had to go to Louisiana. 2 different states, 2 different school systems. Once you get there, they test you, and then they want to see where you fall into, what category you go to. So make sure that you are, like I said, researching the schools, because some schools have different standards than other schools.
Yes, and honestly, when we got to Louisiana, I think our daughters at the time, this is early 2000s, you guys. So when we got the orders, and our daughters actually started a public school at the time, I didn't know what a Title I school was. I didn't know what that was coming from California. I was like, oh, well, Title I,
sounds very prestigious.
Hey, then at least it's not a 2.
Title I school.
I had no idea, y'all. I was so naive. And then when I got there, I think my daughter stayed in that public school for maybe 2 months, and I was like, this is not it.
Right. And like I said, different strokes for different folks.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So it may work for some. But for our daughters being used to the school system they were used to, it wasn't a challenge for them.
Right.
And because it wasn't a challenge, it created, where they felt they had to kind of fit into the crowd by dumbing themselves down educationally.
Come on, parents. Y'all know what we're talking about, where in order to fit in, you know what? I'll make a B on that spelling test.
I think David Banner talked about it on his Instagram,
right,
where he talks about how he was a smart, young man, but because of the influences of people around him, he felt he had to dumb himself down to fit in, so he wasn't talked about.
That's correct.
Stay in your children's ear. Make sure that they're not doing that when you move or when you PCS to new locations. It's a change for them also that they have to get adjusted to, and so it could be different types of friends, different types of, the school system can be different, so they're trying to adjust also. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And so what is our point, you guys? This is what happened. So we actually had to put them into a private school, and we worked like buzzards to keep them there. It was very expensive, but here's why. Once we moved again, we moved to Texas. Had we not done that, they tested our daughters, and they said typically people that came from this area, Louisiana, did very poorly on their testing coming from there, and they thought that our daughters would not meet the requirements. Right. Well, they blew that thing, y'all.
Yeah, they blew
I'm not even gonna lie, they blew that thing, y'all. We was like, I said, wait, y'all had not seen our big babies.
Right, and we're saying that because it's about the preparation.
Right.
Like I said, they still got to learn.
Yeah.
They still got to grow.
Yeah, that's right.
So you have to make sure that you guys are getting them ready, putting them in place that way that if you do have to move, that they're ready for it and everything is good to go.
So once you've researched the area, right, you figured out where you're going to go,
right.
Well, this is when you need to find the hotels.
Yes, definitely find a place to stay because
before you get there.
Depending on your situation, it could be hectic. All right.
Yes.
So what if you already have a house? It could be hectic. You have to sell the house.
Right.
Or, if you plan on renting it out, which is a good investment idea, I'm just saying.
Yes,
We're going to talk about that later.
Yes.
But you have to try and sell it.
Right.
And in the middle of trying to sell it, you have to go trying to find a place to buy.
In another state. And sometimes it's unseen. So sometimes you're looking at pictures.
Remember when we drove?
Oh, my goodness, you guys.
We don't know how many times we drove from our last base to here just to look at some houses and homes. Or when we were in Louisiana and went driving to Texas to look at homes just to see areas before we got there. It's worth it, you guys.
Oh, yeah, it was funny, you guys, because we would go, okay, we're coming in on a Thursday. We tell our realtor we have until Saturday, and we want to see everything you got.
Everything you got.
And she's like, all right, here you go. Boom. I mean, we were so tired. It was exhausting. At one point, we would be sitting in the car, and my husband would say, well, what did you like about that last house? I'm like, which one?
Yeah, for real.
I don't even remember.
Some houses, we just told the lady keep going. We kept flagging it. Just keep driving.
Right,
keep driving.
No.
Next time. But,
and apartments too. And then listen, we don't even want to make it seem like you have to buy or rent. Even if you're on base, there's certain neighborhoods on base. Now, if you don't know, there's neighborhoods on the bases.
The bases has different neighborhoods.
Yes.
Some bases have several sections of houses.
Absolutely.
Now, these are military bases. So with these sections of houses, some could be some from the 30s. I'm talking about 1930s, you guys.
Yes.
And some of it can be brand new built houses.
Yes.
You get the luck of the draw.
That's right. And you don't really get to pick depending on where you are. Some bases, you may have one option, and some, they may say, suck it up. If you're overseas, they go, this is what you got.
Right. And then we ain't going to talk about the officer houses.
Y'all, why does it always seem like the sun shines brighter where the officer houses were?
No rain.
I mean, it's just
always sunny.
Folks skipping down the street.
I don't know, but so with those types of houses and everything, like I said, you get what you get. The thing is you don't get any housing allowance if you stay on base. So
sometimes you may be in an area where the rent is higher and you have to give more of your money if you live off base.
Right.
And then some, it may be cheaper and you could be getting a few extra dollars more.
But that'll help pay for your bills.
That's right.
Utilities and stuff like that. So.
You have to take a look, you guys. Right. And so our point is there's no right or wrong way. It's just whatever is comfortable for you. Right. And then once you find the hotel, make sure that it's comfortable. I remember staying in not an extended stay, but it was kind of that type. But we were in there for over a month. Do you know how?
Over a month in a hotel.
How having 3 children, a dog, and then just yourself. I mean, I'm not even talking about your spouse. Just having to sit with yourself in a hotel for a month and go nowhere. You don't know nobody.
A month of eating them damn waffles. A month of those waffles. Oh. Y'all know them waffles I'm talking about. The one you got to pour into the little waffle machine.
It was really cool when we first got to Texas. Our kids were like, "Ooh, Texas-shaped waffles." And then after the 25th day, they was like, "Oh, Texas-shaped waffles."
But yeah, that was an adventure. But in order to get to these places, we got to go with the fun part of moving.
Yes.
I don't care. Okay, listen, we ain't even going to talk about the military side of the house here. Just doing this in general
Yes, you guys.
is irritating.
It is.
But the cool part is the military will pay for it. And we're talking about packing, you guys.
Man, they will pack you up.
So they send a team. So you get notified about a moving truck that's going to show up, all right?
Sometimes.
If it shows up. Got a story about that later. and what they do is they tell you, all right, cool. You plan out what day the first group of people show up. These people kind of walk around your house, see what you got.
Right.
You know, kind of take an inventory so they can know how many boxes.
Right.
You know, how many bags, how much wrapping paper they're going to need, you know.
As you hear him talking, you see this is a process. This isn't a one-day thing,
no,
y'all.
This is not. This takes months to plan.
Yes.
But sometimes you only get 90 days to plan. Sometimes you only get 45, 120, 180. It all depends, right?
To turn your entire life upside down.
Right? So they come and they do it. Next day, they actually come and send some people to pack. All right? This is where things get real, all right? Before you do anything, you want to make sure that you go around your house and take pictures of everything.
All your electronics on.
Cut the TV on. Do videos of your TV on and off.
Why would you tell them to do that, though?
Why? Because, oh, man. So, when I met Z, Z was collecting Disney VHS tapes.
When I say I had first
We're talking
run.
about Disney VHS, y'all.
90s,
The
y'all.
boxes.
The plastic joints.
Pocahontas, Mulan.
Little Mermaid. First run.
First run, right? And so we had in our old house, we had a bookshelf where we kept all the movies and all the video games and all the Blu-rays and DVDs and all the other stuff. Our house was on the market. Luckily, our house was on the market, and I'll get back to why. But yeah, they came, they packed our stuff. One of the things you want to make sure of that your trash.
Yes. What?
Pack it. Put your trash. Take your trash out. They'll pack that too. But they packed up all of our stuff. We did an inventory before they left. All the boxes were accounted for when they got on that truck. When that truck showed up to the other side,
I was hurt, y'all.
it was 2 boxes missing out of that.
I mean, two nice
Nice-sized boxes.
that were labeled.
And you know what they labeled them? Be careful. Hey, watch what they label your boxes. All right?
Yes.
They could be telling people what's in there specifically. So if you see a boxes that says movies and video games,
What do you think you
what do
gonna
you
get?
think is? Oh, you got the landmine of the boxes right there. Or if you have a box that says Jordans and red bottoms, or fur coats, or jewelry.
What box do you think is gonna come up like first,
Oh,
y'all?
the box is gonna be gone. They're gonna be gone.
Yeah, Houdini.
Don't know who did it. Don't know why.
And all you can do is put in a claim.
Say, hey, I'm missing a box of stuff.
When I say we had came to our base and we took everything out, we said,
where the movies at? Where all the movies at?
And then you know how the companies play. What you talking about?
We're missing some boxes. We're missing box 32 and 33.
Right,
I remember those box numbers to this day.
What they do is they give you market value, right?
On the size of the box and what the box can fit. So y'all know. All right, we gonna y'all know Blu-ray movies and DVD movies. 2 different boxes, 2 different sizes.
Right.
They lost a whole thing, 2 different prices too. Let's not even talk about the price of a DVD versus a Blu-ray. They lost a whole box that had DVDs and Blu-rays in them, but it had more Blu-rays than DVDs, and they only could give us price for the amount of DVDs that could fit in the box, y'all.
That's right. Never mind if it's a classic. Never mind if it's something special. So they gave us like the bulk stock. Here's your $2 for your $1 million worth of stuff.
But then they're gonna say, you got any proof that what was in the box? Oh, you damn right I got proof. You right I got proof. Our house was on the market, and so luckily our realtor had taken a picture of the bookshelf with all the movies and DVDs and games and stuff on there. And so we were able to show them what we were missing.
That's right.
And so that's why you have to take a picture of your stuff.
That's right. And ladies, if you have real jewelry, wear it all.
Real.
See, why you gotta?
Real. We're not talking about them Claire's.
Well, what if that's what? But no, I mean, my thing. If I wanna be sitting there looking like Flavor Flav with all my.
Your real
But
stuff.
really, ladies, if you don't want grandma's brooch to come up missing, put it in your pocket.
Take it with you.
We used to have like a black box, well, what we called a black box, but it was like a lock, storage box, and we put everything that we wanted, and we would take everything.
Passports, marriage licenses,
Everything.
Social Security cards.
That thing went with us.
Man,
You hear me? It was like the nuclear football. You understand?
Man, for real. Definitely get one of those together. You have to. Why? Because of the fact of you might need another side when you get ready to check those kids into school. You may need birth certificates. You may need shot records. You may need all that other stuff. So you have to make sure you have the necessities and the required documents on hand with you.
And you never
Because
know.
they'll pack it.
That's right. And you never know. Each state, each country has different requirements. So you don't want that one little piece of something you thought was unnecessary is in a box that you're not going to see for a
We
month.
need to prove y'all married. Where's
Yeah.
your
You're
marriage
like,
certificate?
what?
I need my marriage certificate? Well,
Yeah.
our name's the same, yeah. So is Willie Johnson and Willie Johnson, but that don't mean they're the same Willie Johnson. I'm just saying. So, so you have to make
We
sure
have-
you got all your stuff with you.
Right, we have run into that. But then another thing, you guys, as you're going through this, one small thing, this is a funny. Make sure you take your trash out.
Take your trash.
They
to
will
the
pack your
curb
trash.
because it will go in a box.
Yes.
With a ribbon and a bow on top of it.
And come to
and
your
they'll
door.
label it trash.
And then come to your door stinking.
And it'll sit in the warehouse for however long it takes for you to find a place.
Okay, I know somebody out there laughing. We are not kidding.
And if you're stationed in Mississippi in the middle of August or July,
Okay.
and that's where your new duty location is, and that box been sitting in Mississippi for about a week and a half,
Man,
2 weeks.
those dirty dishes that you thought was gonna clean themselves that jumped in a box, they will pack your dirty dishes.
Clothes, everything.
All of it. You need to
everything.
have
Your cat.
your cat. We've heard about a cat being packed in a rollaway bed. I promise, honest to goodness, someone's cat was in a what do you call it, like a trumble bed?
Yeah.
They don't care. These packers are thugs. You hear me?
They get it. They
Shout
get
out
it.
to y'all packers because I know y'all be trying to get in and get out. Y'all not trying to
ain't
fool with nobody.
No. hey, and word of advice: we thought this was gonna work. We worked on one side, it didn't
did.
work on the other side. But
Right.
be nice to your packers. What we did was we always bought them lunch,
Yes.
whether it was Burger King, whether it was some pizza,
Something.
and some sodas and stuff. But we bought them that just to kind of say, hey. Thank you guys for what you're doing.
Well, no. You bought it for thank you for coming. I bought it with I don't want you to take a 2-hour lunch break. Keep packing. Bite a piece of pizza, put the plate in the box. Bite a French fry, put them sheets in the thing. That's okay.
I was trying to be nice. I didn't want my stuff to come up missing. That's why I was trying to feed them so that they on my good side.
See,
but on the other side,
they ate your food
on the
and
other-
took your
and
videos.
complained about it.
I keep telling everybody Audacity is at an all-time high, y'all.
Man, they were like, burgers? We got burgers? Last place got us pizzas. Man, listen, you could have got nothing. You could have been swallowing your spit, bro. I mean, you could have been
Dreaming.
dry mouthiness could have set in on you, but hey,
it is.
what
Each
it
stay
is.
on.
It
Each
is
stay
what
on.
it is. But hey, the cool part about moving though, especially if you're staying inside the States and you can instead of flying, make it into a road trip. Make a vacation out of the move.
Right,
You know,
right.
plan it out. See about some attractions and stuff that you can go to. I remember that when we left California and was driving to Louisiana.
That was fun.
I mean, there's a whole lot of places between it. You got Vegas, you got the Grand Canyon,
Yes.
you have, the dam that's out there. It's so many places, and we were able to take advantage of that.
Oh, yeah.
We were able to go to Disneyland.
Yeah.
And enjoy Disneyland on one of our moves. Why? Because of the fact that you could take vacation during your move, and you could utilize that time in order to have some family time before it get hectic.
Hey,
again.
you guys, take advantage of that. I don't know about all branches, but I know in the Air Force you can. And take advantage of having a couple days, especially if you know you're about to go all the way over to BF Egypt, or if you are getting ready to go to, Podunk, Hootenannyville, and you're from big town New York. You want to take some time to have your children have closure. Let yourself have closure. Your whole life is getting uprooted, okay?
But what we're going to do is take a break for a second,
Yes.
pay some bills.
Yes, we are.
And then we'll be right back with the second part of Military PCSing.
Yeah, y'all. hey. So I was sitting here thinking, Russ, do you remember when we were PCS and we had a little to-go potty? Y'all, we had like a pop-up potty because our children were small at the time, y'all, and my daughters, they had like a phobia of public bathrooms.
They did not want to go in them. I mean, would you really want to sit on them gas
honestly,
station
and then when you're PCSing, some of these bathrooms were scummy. Some of these where you're like a little sketchy. So we got these pop-up potties, and you put the line in, and when I say it saved more than one booty, it saved more than one booty.
Man, that thing came in handy.
Yeah, so y'all, if you still have them,
dark nights in the cold, you ain't gonna want to stop and pull over. I'm just saying.
Right. So that was hilarious. That was just one little thing I remember. But go ahead, honey.
All right. So another thing that you want to get ready is you want to call the squadron ahead of time that you're going to, or the unit, or the battalion, or whatever you want to call it. You want to call them ahead of time to try and see if you're about getting a sponsor. And what a sponsor does for you is they kind of help get you all situated and set up. They can give you a lot of good insight on what schools are the best, what neighborhoods to stay away from. They could be an insight into helping you get situated in the squadron.
Right.
Actually turning in paperwork for you.
I remember when we almost got orders to Italy, y'all, and Russ got a sponsor. When I say we were frantic because...
No, let's start off with this. I didn't even know I had orders, but I got a text message that says, "Hey, I see you coming to replace me. Do you want more information about Italy?"
On a Saturday.
On a Saturday morning at like 7 in the morning.
We thought it was a joke.
I'm like, who in the world from San Antonio?
Right. It had a San Antonio. Right. It had in the area code.
It was weird.
Yes.
Why? Yeah. Because he was using WhatsApp to message me.
So sometimes you will find out you have orders weird. I kid you not. Russ found out through WhatsApp that we were getting ready. We were inbound to Italy. I'm laughing. I'm telling my family. I'm like, no. Now, the reason why we were freaking out was because he was 1 year from retirement, y'all.
1 year from retirement eligibility.
I was like, what? So we were in the middle of excitement, in the middle of disbelief.
Of what in the world? We had, like I said, we thought this was going to be our final
That's right.
location.
We were in a home stretch.
We had bought the house that we wanted.
Right.
We were like, okay, cool. And then all of a sudden, wait.
Italy.
Italy.
Our family and our friends was like, woo. And we were like, no.
And not even to like Italy. It was like the remote location in the back portion of Italy,
we didn't even know where that was.
It was like 2 hours to the nearest base one direction, and 2 hours of civilization of another direction, and it was like, why?
And they told us that we were going to be the only English speaking people, and so here we are thinking our little brown rounds in the middle of Italy and not knowing anybody.
So what did we do? We researched.
Yes. And so he called his sponsor. Luckily, at the time, she was very responsive. That's the point we're trying to say. So we were able to shoot something across the bow. And what was crazy is he would have to send his emails in the daytime, wait a whole day for a response from Italy at night. So it was crazy, you guys. Crazy. But that's the good thing about a sponsor. They can help you. They can tell you where the schools are. Use that resource as a spouse. That's the one thing that I would freak out about. The active duty member already has their own set of things that they're concerned about. It's kind of like those first day of school vibes. But then also the spouses do too. You're like, okay, what's going to be my new normal?
Right.
Because as a spouse,
what you gonna do when you get there?
Right. As a spouse, you may have a job. Now you have to figure out, can I get another job? Yeah. Can it be transferred? Right. A lot of times people don't realize as being an active duty spouse, you give up a lot of yourself to push forward the member. So shout out to the spouses that is holding the house now. I understand. A lot of time these active duty members, they go for months at a time, and you got to figure out another new normal. So moving, you want to have it seamless as possible. Definitely. I would make sure that our daughters had snacks that they knew, or something that was familiar from the region we were coming from, because it's already a culture shock. So any creature comforts you can have for your kiddos and even for yourself, try to get it.
Like I said, change is hard for adults, so you can imagine what it is for kids.
It is.
It's hard for us to change.
Right.
So imagine dealing with that and adapting to new schools. You leaving your friends behind that you just made friends with.
That's right.
Because you just had to make another set of friends because you moved again. And so the good part about that is diversity.
Yes.
The good part about that for your kids is they get
Yes.
the chance to see a lot of things that they would not have saw if you would have left them in the same spot.
That's right.
Case in point.
What's that?
Going from California, where it's a melting pot, to Louisiana, where they had their own set of how they do things down there.
Mm-hmm.
And so my kids felt and saw things. No, let's be blunt about
You know what?
it.
I was just gonna say, why are you picking words?
Our kids dealt with racism down there,
Right.
and they didn't see that in Los Angeles, in California, because of the fact of, Northern
California.
Because, like I said, it's a melting pot. You know, they actually got called the N-word
Oh yes.
in Louisiana.
Oh yes.
And so it was a shock to them.
Yes.
It turned them around and made them realize that it was nothing that you just see on TV. That
now
is
this
real.
is in the 2000s, you guys.
Yeah,
That's why
this
when
is
people say
2007.
racism isn't real,
Yeah, 2008.
it is. Yeah. This is
2008,
recent.
9, 10.
Yeah.
And so, you know, it was one of those things where they were young and they were playing with other kids. And so, like I said, we had them in a private school.
Yeah.
But they were only 3
We
African. We had 5 black children at the school.
It was 5 black children, and we had 3 of
We
them,
had
y'all.
3 of them.
So that was also
Out of the whole school.
the entire school. And when I tell you, when something came up wrong, mine got called into the office.
Boy.
I mean, it was blatant. We're
It
not
was
going to
definitely
sit
blatant.
here.
They had their challenges, and I, you know what? I applaud them for dealing with it.
I always say, if I didn't know I was black before I went, I knew once I left. Because they made it abundantly clear.
Ooh,
okay?
We're going to talk about a lot of that in our future podcast.
Exactly.
We're going to talk about that.
We're going to keep it real.
Experiences.
Wow.
Woo, man.
Okay.
Man. But definitely, you want to make sure that you're finding out all this information first. A way you can get that information is actually calling the base, and they have centers that's on the base. Ours in the Air Force is called the Airman and Family Readiness Center. I don't know what it's called for the Army or for the Marines or for the Navy or any other branch. But the Airman and Family Readiness Center or the Readiness Center can help give you a lot of good tools. They can give you a list of available homes. They can give you a list of schools. They can give you all how to start your the waiting list for on base. You can go to the base housing office and get the waiting list ahead of time. That is a key gem. Why? Because you don't want to be on that wait list. Some places have long wait lists to get on base. If you want to do that and move that route, or you have to find a place off base. So definitely get with them. They can give you the list of apartments. They can give you all kind of stuff. Use your resources that are available.
And it's hard to find places when you're moving when everyone else is moving. So you have to think in PCS season. That's what the military calls it, PCS season. And those are high peak moving times. So you have to think if you're moving at a high peak moving time, you waiting until you get there to figure out where you're going to put your little peanut down on a pillow. Don't do that. Think ahead.
We had a move that was coming up. We were moving from Louisiana to Texas. And it was doing a high PCS season. And the military, I don't know, for some reason, didn't have enough money.
Oh, my gosh.
DOD
When I say
didn't have
stress,
enough
y'all,
money.
Ran
And
out.
so we got orders. And then they said, hey, we don't have a moving company.
You don't have a what?
All the moving companies are being used for, higher ranking individuals that are PCSing. So this is what we need you to do.
Right.
Can you find your own moving company, and when you get to the other side, we'll reimburse you?
Can you do what now?
Find your own moving company, and when we get to the other side, we'll reimburse you.
And have faith that they remember that you didn't pay for it yourself.
Or try to figure out how we gonna pay for a $10,000 to $12,000 move while we're trying to find a house to purchase.
We are not lying, y'all.
Man, they told us to find out. So and to what?
Hey, who got just 10 grand sitting around as a young couple, as a young,
just sitting around.
Yeah,
just not set for anything.
Not me.
Luckily, I was able to find a spot that was an approved shipper, and I was able to connect them to the military base, and they were able to go ahead and fund it. So sometimes you got to get out there and do some work on your own sometimes. And I found this moving company, but yeah, they told me to find my own.
That's crazy.
Boy, I tell you, I love the military, but they can have their moments. I'm just saying. Boy. But then, let's fast forward a little bit. Once you get to the other side, you guys, check your boxes.
When I say check, and if you can, check them outside.
Check
Listen,
your box.
When I I did not know water bugs could fly
Man,
until I got to Louisiana. I heard scratching in a box, y'all.
that's all you hear. I don't know if you can hear that noise, but that noise.
Oh my goodness, y'all! Our boxes came from California to Louisiana, and they had opened some of them, like our big things. Now let me say that they will put up your bed. They will put up all your big
put it
furniture.
all together for you.
Yes, so don't let them leave, y'all. When they try to play you and say we don't do that, yes they do. They lie.
Put it all together.
Tell them put it up.
They might even unpack it for you.
That's right. That's right. That's right. So listen, we're unpacking boxes, and I went to open a box in the second floor of where we had a base housing, and a water bug jumped out. I saw my soul leave.
Now you got to remember, these things sit inside of warehouses until it's ready. So these warehouses, I mean, they have all kind of stuff in them.
When no one told us that we needed to tape the holes that you hold the box your hands in. That's how the water bugs got in. They got in through hand holes, y'all. What are we doing? I'm like, why do we even need these bugs? What's the purpose? Scariest mess of my life.
Your cat might jump out of it, right?
You be high. Oh my goodness, it is
boxes.
crazy.
And then for inventory purposes also. So you want to make sure that everything was put in that box shows up to the other side.
And nothing that wasn't in the box before jumps out on you.
Now, we had some good stories. We had one of them Igloo, big, huge water bottles full of quarters. Mm-hmm. That made it and came back. I don't know how that thing made it every base with us.
Every base. Like someone, yeah.
I mean, that got to be at least $300 worth of
every
coins.
Base.
But
you took my DVDs.
You took my DVDs.
You dirty bums.
My Wii games.
All the now, listen. Russ used to Wii, y'all. He'd be in there shaking his shimmy with his daughters and doing the cheer.
Bowling. Boy, I was ace 300. Whop, whop. Gone. I can't even do that anymore. I ain't got no games for the Wii no more. I'm just saying. But anyways, you have to make sure you check your boxes when you get to the other side, all right? And then while you're checking on your boxes, check on your children. Check on your dependents. Check on everyone. Make sure everybody's okay. Like I said, moving is a big thing.
Yes.
You're starting basically from scratch.
Every time, you guys. It's hard. As a spouse, it is hard. You have to figure out, what your new normal is.
Right.
At one point, I got tired of being Sergeant Russ's wife. You know what I'm saying? I mean, everywhere we went, oh, you're Sergeant Russ. I'm like, no, I'm Z.
Nice to meet you.
How are you doing? I have my own identity. And so at one base, I said, you know what? I'm not moving until I get my degree. I'm not moving another base because do you know that there is a stigmatism on certain dependents? They're called dependopotamuses. Dependopotamuses. Listen, people don't like to see or what they perceive that you're just kind of just chilling on the government's dime, I guess. I don't know what it is, but yes, if you've never heard of that, dependopotamus is real. It's a thing. Google it. Ask someone in active duty what that is, and they'll probably laugh first, okay? But find your own identity, spouses. Whether that's taking a class, whether that's getting a part-time job. I'm not saying you have to go to school, but do something because what happens is you lose yourself.
Yeah, and you gotta think everyone is making friends.
Right.
Not just your kids.
Right.
You as an adult, you're making friends. You're trying to learn people. You're trying to get a little circle that you can hang around so you're not feeling so secluded or something like that.
If you're like me, I don't do big friend circles.
No.
I never have. It's just it's not for me. I'm more of a one-on-one friend or you know what I'm saying? I can't do it. But I learned early, it keeps the mess down, y'all.
It
keeps the mess down.
Check on everyone. Make sure everyone's good to go. Check the temperature of everyone.
Right.
Every once in a while. Don't just think everything is A-okay. Don't think that, we moved here, everybody's going to get settled in on their own. No, you definitely got to do a heat check. Make sure everybody's good. See where everyone is at. Find out how your kids are doing in school. Do they understand it? Is it a challenge?
Right.
Is it not a challenge and they just kind of going to float through? Because you got to remember, if they move to another place and their standards are higher and your kids been floating through school, it may be a challenge for them on the other side.
That's right.
So you want to make sure that you're getting them all prepped and checking on everyone and making sure everything is good.
Yes, but then don't forget to enjoy your time, y'all.
Definitely. Don't forget to
It's fun. We're trying to say that it's stressful. It is stressful, y'all.
It's
but
preparation.
That's right. It is fun. I've never met more more resilient children in my life when it comes to active duty military children. I mean, they have to be chameleons.
What do they compare them to?
They're dandelions.
Dandelion.
That is the military flower
The
for children.
military flower is a dandelion. Why? Because that thing can grow. It is a weed.
It is a weed, but they're pretty.
But they're pretty.
The reason why is because they can grow through concrete, y'all.
That's right.
They're built tough. They're
Ford.
Yeah. See, so if you see a military kid, if they're a little standoffish, give them some grace. They're learning. Right. If your child is a little standoffish, ask what's going on, because it's a lot. It's a lot, y'all.
It's a lot to take in. Hey, thank you guys for checking us out, man.
Yeah.
This is going to be awesome. Like I said, this series is talking about military experiences. And like I said, it's giving people an insight on what military people go through.
Right.
But it also may be helping out somebody who's currently active duty, who's getting ready to go through a PCS change, and got to have some couple of nuggets of wisdoms that they can know before they get out there. Because everyone definitely needs some help. Everyone definitely needs ways and knowing what they can do ahead of time in order to prep for it. So it's about being ready, all right?
Yes, and then if you need some resources, hey, send us an email. We'll filter your questions and try to get you some resources back out to you. We don't have all the answers, y'all. We've said that. We're trying to be honest, but we will get it for you, because getting you the answers gives us more information.
That's right.
And we love to know. That's one thing. I hate not knowing.
You can never know too much.
You can never know too much.
That cup can never be filled, right?
No.
So we're going to tell you guys now. We are coming to you guys every Wednesday.
Yes.
And the reason why we pick Wednesday is because it gives us more chance to give you guys more content. It gives us more chance to do more research for you guys and put some hot content out there.
And plus, our schedule's getting crazy,
yeah,
y'all.
I mean, we're being greedy out there and other projects in the mix.
Yeah, we want to make sure we have a good quality content show, and also make room in our schedule for other exciting things that we will be coming to y'all with. Scary stuff, exciting stuff.
We don't stop moving.
No.
All right, we don't stop moving. We're like
That's
water.
Right. That's right.
The ocean never stops.
That's right.
That's what we're comparing ourselves to.
That's right.
We're going to keep this grind going, so you can check us out on all platforms, all right? We're on all podcasts, from iHeart to Apple to Breaker, Anchor FM. We're all over the place. All you got to do is search for Russ and Z.
That's right.
Look for that title icon with the shirts with oh God, those shirts.
Yeah,
those shirts
cool.
is getting traction.
There you go. Also, check us out on YouTube.
If you don't have any type of podcast type app on your phone, you can go straight to YouTube.
We on that thing, y'all.
Google Russ and Z. All right, use the Google machine, Russ and Z. Also, don't forget to go to our IG at Russ and Z _podcast. Go to our Facebook page, Russ and Z. Definitely come and check us out on Clubhouse. We're Russ and Z on Clubhouse also.
That's right.
We're all over the place, you guys. We're
y'all.
trying to get out there. We're pushing this brand out there. We have a link tree on our Instagram page where you can take you to all the different links we have, whether it's our website, whether it's our blog, whether it's our podcast.
That's right.
Soon to be other stuff happening on there. So we're excited about it, all right? Thank you guys for checking in with us.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
And we want you guys to be
the change you want to see.
all right.